Why do you do this?
Why do I do this?
Why do you do it?
Because I love it.
Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop, chop, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not a life of imitation. Distant cuts into the reservation. Deep funk the pistol that you play for. This punk the feeling that you stay for. In time, I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. All I love the tears I try to be part of the wave. Can't stop, ever wonder if it's.
You know, I got to get this work day out of the way and, make it to the show tonight, so. Morning, Aaron. What's up, brother?
How does it feel to know that you still have a whole thing ahead of you right before you even go to your
Well, I wake up in the morning and I come here and I realize, I've got patients' lives in my hands today, and I'm gonna have to take care of them more than anything else. And so, honestly, right now that's where my focus is. And when it comes time to shift to the show, then I'll shift to the show. But I'm pretty confident in how the show's gonna turn out tonight.
So you're not even thinking about the show, you're just thinking about what you got in front of you.
Man, obviously I'm thinking about the show. I've got the poster up here for my coworkers. So yes, I'm thinking about the show, but I have to focus on my patients, because if not, things can go bad really fast. Man, Axel's always here. He's always here. You could ask my wife. He's always there in the back of my head. Most of my coworkers know it too. I actually have patients here that refer to me as Axel. So. Who is your favorite nurse?
My favorite nurse is Axel Savage.
I looked, and it went up there, so I was like, oh, hell no. I don't know if I'm gonna put another one up.
Slap one up.
Mm-hmm. So somebody gonna see what we got. What, 2 more days?
Yeah.
Hey.
Rampage Championship, that'll probably mean like the most to me, because that came at a difficult time in my life. I just lost my father, and we're building up to one of the biggest matches in Rampage history. And so to get that nod after about 7 years total, that meant like a lot. And so,
Good time.
yeah, it was a good night. That show was great. Like, everything about that show was great. The Rampage Classic, our WrestleMania, is going to be always one of the hottest shows. But I couldn't even get up, man. Like, I was just laying on the floor crying. Grayson had to send like all the baby faces out to come pick me up, man. Like all my homies came out. DL, Lucha Dad, Johnny Dew, Sonny Guapo, they all lifted me up, helped me get up to where I needed to be so I can celebrate. So yeah, I'll never forget that feeling. So definitely, like, depending on how you're doing in life, every championship feels different.
All right, so how long was that?
Actually, today was, only about 10 hours instead of the normal 12. So, yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here a little earlier than I thought for the quote. But I've always heard that the best characters in wrestling are just yourself turned all the way up to 11. So that's just kind of what I've done, and. My personality doesn't change, the way I talk to people doesn't change, the respect I have for people doesn't change. It's just how I kick the energy in at the time that it needs to be kicked in. So tonight, the 2 guys that I'm facing, the guy that I'm tagging with is in real life one of my best friends. And so I met him through wrestling, but we talk on a regular basis, and so I trust him, and I trust him to have my back, not just as my tag partner, but if something goes wrong. And the 2 guys that we're wrestling against, I helped train, and I've known them since they broke into the business, pretty much. And you know, gave both of them pretty much their first matches in front of people. And so I have a lot of trust and a lot of love for them as people. You're not going to see any of that on camera. All you're going to see tonight is me trashing them and talking about them being trash, because that's my job tonight.
If I'm not working, I wrestle, and sometimes I work and I wrestle. You know, as you've seen, you saw me clock out and leave and go straight there. And it's not only on local shows. You know, sometimes I will clock out and leave and drive 4 hours to wrestle up by Dallas. You know, so it just, you know, if it's within driving distance and I can make it, I try my damnedest to be there. And yeah, and like I said, I hear people all the time, they're like, I'm just trying to stay booked. And I'm like, you know, sometimes I sit there and think, you know, sometimes I just need a day off. But you know, you got to strike while the iron's hot, and you got to keep the iron hot. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a question to ask you guys. To go to Rampage, I would say I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, and my boss, she knew that I was a fan of wrestling, and I came back from visiting some friends in college one day, and there were 2 tickets on my my paycheck, and I went to the show, took a buddy with me, and I fell in love with it. And I knew that this is like what I wanted to do. And on the back of the pamphlet, it said, if you want to become a Rampage wrestler, message the page. And long story short, I messaged the page, and now I'm sitting here, the Rampage champion.
Kinesiology tape, basically. It just basically adds more support.
Yeah. And I'm skipping the jacket today so I don't get it all sweaty and it falls off.
Do a lot of people here got something like this going on?
Oh, we've all had, I think, our periods where we've needed it.
Just what we said we were going to do. We showed up, we showed out, and we retained our duos championships.
Mexican pit bulls, Was it ever really a question? Because after tonight, the statement was made. It's back of the line for you puppies. And anybody else at Rampage that wants some, come get some. Stage Dive Mafia is here to bang some heads, baby.
Why do I do this? Because I love it. I mean, I can't say anything other than that. It's an adrenaline rush that I can't explain. The looks on the people's faces, you know, I love it. I love doing it.
Why do I do this? For me, it's a combination of fun and destiny, I guess you can say, because I've always kind of wanted to be a wrestler, and since I was a kid, I've known that I was going to be a wrestler, and I kept that thing in my brain ever since I was a little boy, playing football, basketball, doing the wrestling, all the kind of stuff. But in the back of my mind, I knew that when I got older, I was going to become a professional wrestler. And it just happened to be a happenstance chance by running into Rampage Wrestling, and I got to follow my dreams.
You know I'm a dreamer, but my heart's of gold. I had to run away high, so I wouldn't come home low. Just when things went right, it doesn't mean they were always wrong. Just take this song, and you'll never be left all alone. Take me to your heart, feel me in your bones. Just one more night, and I'm coming on this long and winding road. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Home sweet.
Oh yeah, brother. Used to stay at the Hotel Sixes, now I stay at the Marriott.